Okay, I'm gonna make this a two-parter, but basically, you were being a jackass, man. It's the simple fact that you know the way I saw you, and it was like, well, you know, it doesn't give you a right. It doesn't excuse you. So blah 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 blah. Really, really. You know, it's like I've had. It's like yeah, when people die, you know, it's especially the circumstances in which they die. You know, it's always a hard thing, but in this circumstance, it's like you know I can see all sides, and first, and let me state that this is that okay. I can you know I have no problem with the women wanting to have a conversation with Nelly about the video. You know they you know all of that, the music, the whole industry, all of that is like a form of art, and that video did not appeal to them, and they you know thought it to be a bad thing or reflection on black women. You know, so I understand you want to have the dialogue and letting him know why, and you know, and find out basically, okay, well, why did you do this? Why, you know, did you think about this or did you think about that? And I'm going to apply the same thing to all of those ladies. Um, and I remember another professor. I don't remember her name, but I remember back from that time, no four. Um, you know, help lead the protest. Did you all think about all those people who were, you know, who could have used that marrow that day? Did you think about how maybe somebody could possibly die because you want to have a protest? I mean, just think about it just honestly think about it. A protest for a bone marrow drive, you know, and you don't see, you can't see anything wrong with that. You're talking about, well, this is, you know, they're the same, you know, why can't we discuss both? There's nothing to discuss with a bone marrow drive. Ashley, okay, and I'm speaking directly to you, sister. You know, what can you discuss? You know, it's already hard because the person is dying, and they need that in order to survive. You know, that's going to help them out, you know, getting that bone marrow in fighting that cancer. Like I say, cancer is not an issue. You know, it's like do you understand that? Ashley and Jabari, and like those were really like the only two names I saw. You know, the way they did the video. I guess it was a longer segment, but it was like 13 minutes that I looked at the whole 13. And whoever this guy was, I mean, and to the man who did the interview, basically what it looks like to me is that you're just trying to please everybody. You know, you went out on a limb, well, you just came out of nowhere and asked Nelly his thoughts. And then once he shares his thoughts with you, then it appears that you had a problem with it and you're calling him a liar. And, you know, and how you wanted to, like, I guess, grill or scold, you know, scold Nelly. And it's like, you know, and how he talked about how he was unprepared and, you know, so on and so forth. You know, basically what it, you know, the way I see it happening was that he just, you know, I don't believe you can't, you know, you weren't prepared for that question, prepared for his answer. You knew what you wanted to ask in the first place. You had the question wrote down, and you got Nelly's thoughts, and that was that. But then, you know, you took some heat, and I guess some people came out and you know, started sending you heat. So you trying to make, basically, the guy trying to make himself look, you know, this journalist is trying to make himself come out all good in this situation. Where it's like, no, you need to take responsibility for and stop lying because you weren't unprepared. Come on, you weren't unprepared. No, journalism 101, always be prepared. You know, if you're going to sit down and do an interview and ask questions, you're not going to ask a question that you're not prepared to respond back to. I mean, that's, you know, I haven't taken a journalism class, but I'm pretty sure that's a basic rule of journalism. So no, um, you have your part there, and you know, like I say, it is very poorly done. You know, the way I came across seeing it as that you from the second, well, because the only one I saw was the second video, the response, which included the young lady, Ashley, and former professor at Spelman, Shabari. That was very poorly done. And it came across as extremely biased. You know, it's extremely biased in the fact that you just want to attack Nelly from from something that but it. I mean, man, nobody wants to take responsibility. Talking about Nelly not wanting to take responsibility. It seems that no one wants to take responsibility for the protest during a drive. It should never have been. Like I say, I mean, Spelman is a pretty tough, academically speaking. So, it's a rigorous college to get into in the first place. So, and anybody who gets into college anyway, you're pretty, you're pretty smart. You have intelligence. I know everybody comes and was raised in a different background. So, um, everyone sees things differently. But you would think that you would have enough human compassion, and I'm not going to say common sense, but just human decency and compassion that this is a drive for cancer. Okay, why? Okay, there should not be any kind of negative thing involved with that. It should all be a positive event and experience. Okay, from start to finish. And just the fact that you all were willing to protest at a cancer benefit, it and still even to the it said a lot. It said a lot about you personally. You know, just not a lot of respect shown. Well, no respect shown, no respect, and you all just didn't care. You know what I'm saying? The fact that that his sister did die, in which nobody would ever know if there would have been a match. There may have been a match that day. We'll never know, and that's the bottom line. It's and it was taste. It was extremely in bad taste. Just to I mean, when you personalize it yourself, and you put yourself in those shoes. Okay, well, my mother and or my sister or my child is going through this, and so we're gonna have a benefit or participate in this drive, and this could be it. This could save this person's life. But no, you can't see what's the saying when they say you can't see the forest for the trees. You just can't see past your own personal, and it was your personal. Like I say, is because everybody wasn't. It wasn't. Everybody viewed that video differently. Like you ladies at some of you at Spelman, some of you just didn't like it. But then again, that wasn't everybody at Spelman. Or just everybody in general. You know, and I'm just talking about the women. Because from a male standpoint, it's but it's just mostly from women. Every woman was not against that video. Because when you look at it like this, okay, well, the woman did the video, and like I said, it was a woman. From my understanding, a woman came up with that video herself. So, a woman came up with the video in the swipe scene, and if the woman didn't have a problem, having a car swipe down her butt, I guess and I said those, they all look to be young, so it's a youth thing. So there's a lot of dynamics to that, but if you can't separate and just have the human decency to and respect, then what does that say about you? And I mean, I thought very, I didn't think highly of any of those protesters. Like I said, because I just personalized it myself, even if I didn't have to personalize it, but still, like I say, being a Scorpio, you're sensitive, sensitivity is a part of the sign. So I was very sensitive, and I'm not I was very open to a lot of things in the world, and a lot of different viewpoints, just from, just period. So I understand, the ladies at the time. I understand your concerns, and you wanting to have that dialogue, but I just can't understand at all why you would choose to use a drive that would benefit who knows how many people that would have benefited that were going through cancer at that time, and the fact that you never thought about any of those people and or how they, how they would have felt and or, what happened if anybody died. Those are the consequences that you're going to have to live with. That's the bottom line. What happened, happened, and I hope that you all don't have to experience that, somebody going through. I've lost somebody who I know had cancer, a couple people, a couple of cancer, my grandmama died from a tumor, so you just have to, really kind of step out, just, stop, take a minute, think about, analyze the situation, and, and if everybody had really done so, it would have been a, while she may not have found the match that day, okay, it would have been a successful event, and, and you could have, like I say, had a conversation, either person, maybe a little, just, whether just a little group of you, or whether you want to have, like a large student body, to get like a lot of different opinions, and you all felt that, and like I said, almost 10 years later, you still don't see a problem with what you did. It's disappointing, and like I said, I'm disappointed in you, Ashley, and to this professor. I mean, man, no, I'm disappointed in you as well. You want to come on and invite your opinions on things like that, but it's like the fact that you don't even see what was wrong with that. Come on, man. Come on. It is no. You like, the bottom line is this: cancer or things along those lines. When you have benefits and drives for people, which can benefit everybody, you want to talk about a video where a woman had a car swipe down her butt, and that was the main issue. I understand it, but that has no place whatsoever for a benefit, a cancer benefit, which would benefit people at all. I'm sorry. You all were wrong. You were wrong then. And the fact that you haven't realized that, and, we're like, well, I'm sorry. You're not sorry. You're not sorry. In the fact, like I say, somebody died. Who knows how many people died since then that, we'll never know. Basically, it's, it's, what to say, the cause and effect. What happened, happened. You all did what you did, and you have to live with it, and I hope it doesn't take another 10 years. Well, I hope maybe this video will reach somebody, somebody pass along, and you can kind of see this viewpoint and why it just was not the time. It wasn't the time, and it surely was not the place. And you're just wrong, period. And you all need to understand that, obviously he's still hurting, and he, you can tell he still has a lot of anger, like I say, just think if somebody did that to you, I guarantee you, and it's what, especially you too, Professor Jabari, you will not be sitting up there, well, I've lost somebody as well. No, that's a motherfucking lie. You gonna feel the same way Nelly felt. And it's like you just want to do some kind of harm just to, lash out. Anyway, that's all I had to say. Those are my thoughts. That's it. Take care, everybody.